Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about a cover-up, and what that basically is something that goes in front of the subject or whatever you're trying to put inside of something. And what this really does, it makes it look more real, and it also allows you to have more flexibility as far as positioning the subject. And I'll just give you an example. Like right now, I can move this little boy around in this cup. Okay? Now, if I didn't have that cover up there, let's take that off, this is what I'd have. So then what I would have to do is I would have to cut this out here perfectly. And then it may not be perfect, so you might see where it's a little off. And although that will work, I mean, you can take the eraser or you can take any trimming tool and trim this, but the way that I do it with this cover up really makes it look more realistic. Because if we zoom in on this picture right now, you'll see what I mean. Like right in here, I mean, it's perfect. Let me just take the subject again and move the subject around. Okay, so I just want to show you how to position the subject in between the cover-up and the background. So basically over here in the layers palette, you're going to have the background layer, you're going to have your subject, and then you're going to have the cover-up layer. Okay, you always want the cover-up to be on the top, because let me show you, when I bring this down, well, now the subject is on top of the cover-up. It totally defeats the purpose. So we want to just grab this and drag it up to the top position. Just like that. Okay. Now this works for all kinds of pictures. Doesn't necessarily have to just be in a cup or a bowl or a wash tub or anything that you are inserting a flower. Whatever. These cover-ups come in real handy. Now, in a lot of my volumes, I've added cover-ups for you, so I've kind of like eliminated that work. But if you had to make one yourself, it's really not that hard. And I'm going to show you real quick on how to make a cover-up with this particular mug right here. So let me turn that off. Let me merge this down. Bear with me for a minute. I just got rid of the cover-up. Now you can see we have the subject here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my handy dandy little pen tool over here, and I am going to design my cover-up right in here. So let me pull this a little bit closer for you so you can really see it. And pull it down. And then basically I'm just going to go right in here, and I usually like to go back a little bit right in here. Let me zoom in on that for you. I like to go right in here. So I'm going to go here and just start to work it around just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be pretty clean. And I'm going to show you once, if you haven't already watched the oops, and then this just happened. Now this is a perfect example. I'm glad it happened actually. Let me get rid of these here for you, and we'll start over on that. I'm glad that happened, because that could happen to you and then you wouldn't know what was going on. But if I keep going here, you can see how it's filling in the center. See how it's filling that in? Well, what that basically is doing is creating a path, but it's also filling the path with a color, and that's basically up here. So you want to make sure that it's right here on paths, not on this one right here on the left. You want it on paths. Okay, so let's start that over again. So we basically just want to work it right in here and keep bringing it around just like this. And this works with anything that you're working on. It doesn't necessarily have to be a picture like this. It could be, like I said, a flower. It could be a wash tub. It could be anything that you want your subject to be sitting down in. Now on the corners, it's not that critical, because this is just going to be an overlay. We're just going to totally cut this out, and it's going to be a duplicate right over top of itself. So I don't have to go down all the way into here if I don't want to. But it just gives me a little more flexibility when I want to move that subject up and down. If I went right to this point here, well, I'd only have this much space. So I like to give myself a little bit of room, especially when you got a nice clean edge like this. And just bring it across, keep working. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then now we've established our path. Okay, so then we want to grab our palette. I'm bringing this in here just so you can see it. I wouldn't normally move that. And you go here to paths, right here, and you go to the little side, make selection. And you're going to come up with a radius, and I usually leave it at 1. Say OK, and you see the marching ants. And there they are, okay? Go back to layers, okay? Make sure that you're on your background layer, and then just go to Layer, New, via Copy. And if you see what just happened right here, we just made another layer, okay? Right above the background. And I'm going to turn off the background, and you can see we have our cover up. Okay, so you're not going to move that or anything. It's just going to overlay on top of it. So now we have our subject right here, right? But our subject's on top. We want to bring our subject down in between the cover up and the background. Okay, so let's turn that on now with the eyeball, and there we go. It's that simple to make a cover up. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So I mean, you can do all varieties of this, and really use the cover-ups rather than coming here and trying to cut out. Because then, let's say you cut it all out, and then you go back and you say, well, I really wish I could have scaled him down a little bit more. Well, now when you scale it down, it's not going to be the same shape that you trimmed it out here. So it's good to be able to have that flexibility of being able to bring your subject up and down and around. So that's it for that part of the lesson. Let me also pull up another picture just to give you another example. Let's get this one out of my way here. And let me go grab that other one. There's the other one. And let me get rid of this. Okay, so we have another example here. Right here. And you can see it's a cute picture, okay? Let's take off the cover up, and there is the baby right here. So see, right in here, if we were to just take that baby, there goes the hat too. Okay, it's all independent, but there's the baby. So now, if we were to, like I said, if we wanted to just put let me get that hat out of there. If we wanted to just take the baby now and kind of fit her in there, you know, you can do it, but it's not going to be as easy and it's not going to look as real. And let's go ahead and turn that cover up on, and there you go. I can move the baby all the way around, up and down. I can scale her, I can do all kinds of things. And then that brings me to the hat. Another great cutout. We took a lid and made a hat for the baby, and you can position that any way you want. You can scale it, do whatever you want, because it's independent. But again, the cover up always on the top, because we want that to overlay the subject, just like that. So that's going to do it for this lesson on cover-ups. I hope you use them. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you make some really, really nice pictures. So I will see you in the next lesson.